What is up, everybody? Jordan DeSpong here, back for another episode of How to Improve My Mile. Wrote down a few things here, kind of a lot to cover. Hopefully, I've improved the episode this weekend, trying to make it a little bit more engaging. I had some feedback of maybe some footage and just some on-screen graphics to help me explain to you what I'm doing and give you a better idea of kind of where we're going with all this training and just make it easier to view. I'm back on social media, jumped on Instagram this week. I'm going to get the Facebook going here early this week coming. If you know me, really not a big social media guy, not a big tech guy. So today is quite an improvement, I think, on the episode, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, if you have any feedback, please let me know. And, as we you'll see with more clarity, the training, let me know if you have any questions or if you think I'm missing anything. If you think it can be improved in any way, I'd love your feedback. And just on a side note, I guess while we're doing this, I am going to school to get my master's. So this week's been busy. I've been preparing for a job search. It's funny that I haven't even got to school yet they're already recruiting for jobs next year. So I've been preparing the resume, the handshake, LinkedIn, just trying to get that all up to scratch here so that hopefully I could get a job looking at management consulting, kind of in the financial area. Love the numbers, love accounting. So that's kind of what's been happening here. It's been very hot in Phoenix. We'll probably average like 110 this week. It has been a grind. The training right now should be pretty easy. It should be feeling like it's coming pretty naturally, but it is just been a grind. It feels much harder, I think, than it should, but you know what? You just have to deal with it and we'll grind it out. We'll get it done. But let's jump in here. We are reviewing my junior and senior year of high school. I kind of put it out on a spreadsheet for you guys so that you can kind of see the periodization of what we did each year. Both years were very similar. They were some of the most focused years of my life, kind of knowing what I had on the line to go run fast, try to get a scholarship to come over here to the States. And it was kind of some of the most successful years, I guess, with my running, and some of the most fun years I had. I got to travel a lot. Not that I didn't in the States, but it was just really, really cool. So let's try to jump in here so that I can show you what I'm talking about. So here, you can see me, you can see the screen. So I hope that this helps you guys a little bit. Let's just jump into it. So 2013 and 2014 were the years we're going to talk about. For those of you who don't know, the track season in New Zealand starts around October and goes all the way through till March or April the following year, with the winter and summer over here kind of happening from May to September. So as you can see, it's kind of laid out there for you guys. On Monday, we would just do very easy downhill sprints. Tuesday, the track work was usually focused kind of more on the aerobic capacity, endurance side. So a lot of 1,000 meter repeats, a lot of cut downs from 2,000 to 1,600, 1,200, and some thousands. Very rarely would we run 600 or 400s on that day. It was more of maybe even a fartlek or something like that. Wednesday, we always kept as a longer run, usually around 50 to 70 minutes, just depending on what had happened the day before, if I'd raced on the weekend. Thursday was some track work, a lot faster stuff, maybe like 100 fast into 500 at 1,500 meter race pace, or the other way around, 500 going into a finishing kick. Those type of workouts, along with a lot of 300 workouts, 200s. Friday, we always took off, only trained 6 days a week in high school. On Saturdays, I'd usually race or rest. I don't really know. Maybe I'd jog, maybe like 5Ks or 4Ks, 2 or 3 miles on that day. And then Sunday was a long run, usually anywhere from 80 to 140 minutes. 80 to 100 minutes. So like an hour 20 to an hour 40. My math was pretty bad there. So after that period in April, we're kind of, it says rest jog there. I would take, in high school, I took a lot of time. I probably took a month off where I didn't do anything. I played hockey, field hockey for people in America watching. And then the other time would just be kind of either jogging or maybe some some workouts focused on a cross country race. I raced 6,000 meters as a junior. I think by 2015 I was running the 8K. But if anyone knows me, I am not a greatest cross country runner now, and I wasn't then. I might have run like 27 minutes before I came to the States in the cross country. So it was kind of lost when you look back on it that time, from the kind of May to July, where I probably didn't really do much. I did run, but it wasn't very productive. August to September, I always like to talk with my coach Lance and just say, hey, I want 6 weeks of, I'm just going to run. In 2013, I maybe got up to, 80 kilometers, 70, 80 kilometers, which in miles is maybe like 30, anywhere from 30 to 40, 45-ish, of just, just running 60 minutes, 70 minutes a day, trying to build up that aerobic capacity. And then obviously we'd get into the track season starting around October, where we'd have probably a good 6 weeks of building up, those 1,000 meter repeats. And we kind of did something different. We'd do 3 minutes of running. So it's how far could you go in 3 minutes over 5 or 6 reps with 3 minutes in between. So, in 2013, I probably was only making 1,030 meters, but definitely by 2014, I was up to like 1,050 in 3 minutes. I think I may have done one workout where I got 1,060, but they're kind of tough. You can work out, if you're good at math, how fast I was coming through the kilometer run, but it was more kind of focused on that. And we'd hammer 6 or 7 weeks of that, and then some 600s or 300s for the speed endurance on Thursday's track workouts. So, what did that translate into? I wasn't very fast in 2013. I finally cracked that 2 minutes that we talked about in the last video that January. And then kind of ran pretty fast on the mile, I guess, for that age, but didn't, it was just kind of getting into it. But to highlight the aerobic development that, we actually ended up achieving in that May to September period. That year I ran, I think it was 36 minutes, but I just put down 37, and 1 hour 20 and a half marathon. Our theory was always, if you could run faster or improve in the half marathon, and then you come and improve in the 3K, you would improve in the 15, and then in the 800, so on. So that's kind of how we rolled with it over those, couple of years. That 2013, kind of at the end of the year, it was an interesting time. I'd only run like 4:07 in the 1500 and wasn't favorite to win the national schools title, but I ended up running a 156, which was paced by our triple jumper, where we went out in a 56, and then I just held on for a 60. And it actually ended up being like the second fastest 800 time going into that weekend in December before the national championships. And it was an interesting race where I was like, if I can kick before the one other guy that's faster than me in the 800, technically I should have no problem. And kind of that's how naive and young I was. And it worked that day, fortunately. But again, I only ran 3:58, so I wasn't very fast. I think a lot of people really didn't view me as a fast guy, just someone that could kick at the end of a race. The 4:14 mile was pretty fun. I got beat by Geordie that day. He went on to run like 4:10 or something. So that was a fun season. We came back into that kind of outdoor season at the start of 2014. And again, I didn't really run that fast. I ran 1:54 on my own down at our schools champs. But that was kind of the highlight of the season there. So we got back to the aerobic work. And again, that 1:16 or 1:17 half marathon was on a very hilly course. I think we did a lot that year. Obviously the drinking age in New Zealand is a little younger. I didn't party at all that year. I think I drank like twice, which, of those of you that know me, probably surprising, but I was super focused that year. I came in real hot to the outdoor season in October, running the 152 and 354 really early. And then went on to win a second national championship. And I have a little bit of footage on the next page of kind of just the last 400 meters. It was an interesting race. James Preston gave me a good go for my money with 300 out. But it was pretty fun. It was a great time. And then I think that, when you look back over that May to September period where you was able to increase the aerobic capacity, I had some really good stamina to run really fast. So it kind of flowed over to the outdoor season in 2015. where I ran 150 point, and then I think I got third in 351, losing to Geordie again. I think he won that day at the New Zealand Championships in the 15. And maybe Marcus Karamanolis beat me as well, and someone else. But that was just a really good group of guys that were, we kind of got into some nice races, and those are probably the times arguably that got me to the States. But it was just backed by a really, focused year of trying to get better and better and better. Obviously I kept going. I ran like 111 before coming over here, but that's kind of what happened. Again, the workout stayed pretty much the same. I can remember in 2015 when I was running really well, I wasn't doing much at all. I was just jogging, doing some fast track workouts. It was more 1,000 and 600 by that point, and a lot of 300s, 250s on the Thursday workout. So let me pull up that footage that I promised you. All right, so we're going to jump in about 380 meters to go here. I'm in the red singlet out in the outside of lane 1. It's Jared Monk on the pole. He had a great race, great year. He's a great guy. I think he's studying med school in New Zealand. But that is James Preston there coming up on my shoulder. And I think he knew it was going to be a kicking race, but I did not realize how fast we would run this 100. I think it was clocked at about 12 point. He kept on looking at me the whole way down. I didn't want to let him know that I was tired, but I just kept my head straight, kept pumping. I actually got sick this weekend. I really struggled in the heats. I was vomiting everywhere. But, after this race, I felt pretty good. It was a fun day. It was a fun weekend. I think I raced the 2,000 steeple after this race later in the afternoon. Got like third or something. Some guy tripped or something. And I lit up and got fourth, actually. He got third. But this capped off my senior season at Southland Boys High. What a great time it was. Made some great friends down there. Had, really fun running in New Zealand. But let's get to what everybody's here for, probably. The training, reviewing this past week, previewing the next week. Before we jump into it, I'm just going to go over the periodization for the whole time we're running for the next kind of 29 weeks. But let me share my screen and you'll understand what I'm speaking about. So obviously 404 right now. I've been 406, 405, 404. I want to get to 359. Let's not put a cap on it. I'd love to run faster, but you gotta break 4 before you can start looking at all the other numbers underneath 4, right? So here is, July 20th when I started this. I started the podcast, the vlog, started kind of putting it all out there, and we're gonna keep on going at least until February 7th. That's the Husker Mile weekend. Like I said before, 406, 405, and 404 on that track for the last 3 years. Just come close, but not close enough. Haven't found the improvement during the years. I think I have some ideas as to why that is. But, over the next 29 weeks, can we go from a 404, just a couple, about a month and a half ago on an outdoor track to running 359? So the periodization for the 29 weeks, to give you guys a little bit more of an idea of where we're going, why we're doing this. Maybe there is actually a plan behind the workouts I'm talking about each week. Getting back into running here, easy running, just trying to find my feet, get some miles back, get used to the longer runs. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, it's tough down here. So I'm just trying to get out of it. I'm just trying to finish this period of running so that I can get to somewhere cooler and really start hammering out some miles in the base aerobic period. I'll still be doing a couple of workouts a week, but they're probably going to be continuous. They're probably going to be just, building the aerobic base, building in that bread and butter phase, as Arthur Lidlia's program would call it. After that, we're going to jump into some increasing intensity. I don't know what the racing is going to be like this year. I talked this morning with a buddy in Nebraska. I was like, man, I'd love to come up and run the home meet. And then he told me it's a dual meet between Nebraska and Iowa, and no one else is allowed to run it. So maybe when I'm up on the East Coast, up in New York, I'll find a race or two to run in. But here we'll just be, kind of on the upper end of the aerobic threshold, longer workouts still, I think, a lot of miles, still trying to develop that aerobic system. When I think about all the times I've run the mile, I fall off between 800 and 1200. And I think that is the aerobic part of the race. That's just where you need to be clicking off 60, 59, 60. And the only way that I'm going to get more comfortable doing that, when we work out down here, is by developing a solid aerobic base here. Our mini peak, I guess, Nebraska, Lincoln, the half marathon is on as of now. Who knows with COVID? But I probably will travel out there for that. And if we don't run a half marathon, we'll probably run like a 10-mile time trial. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll do something to gauge what I've done here for the last 13 weeks, 14 weeks, see if there's some improvement there. Probably take a down week after that, freshen up, and then the drive to the mile. Get back. George Crucial always told me, whenever you can go back to the base, go back to it. I think he credits some of his success to, just continually working on that. I think, as you'll see when we go back through my college career, these last year and a half has been the best running that I did in college because I continually developed the aerobic base. So we're going to continue to do that. We're going to jump back in there for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of just some mileage. We'll go back to increasing intensity, but it will be kind of more focused on getting ready for the track season. So it'll be a bit more hill workouts, probably longer track workouts, but obviously with some more rest. So coming back to the VO2 max type workouts, the 1000s, probably some speed endurance workouts, 600s, 800s, pretty much aerobic though, I think. And then we'll go 3 weeks solid, race conditioning, getting ready to condition the body to run for hopefully 59.8 second laps. I don't know. Hopefully that's what I'll be able to do. And then peaking, rest up, and then race. So that is the blueprint. Obviously, this period here is not filled up. One, I haven't really got to it. Two, I'm taking it kind of week by week, how I feel. I've got a few ideas of what I'm going to do in this aerobic period, maybe some 10-day cycles just to keep the training switched up. I know that there's some studies that show if especially while I'm running here, if you do the same thing every week, your body kind of gets used to that and you can risk injury because it's not really being exposed to anything else. So, this is what it's for, right? It's, am I doing the right thing in the general public's opinion to improve myself to get to a sub-4-minute mile? I don't know how to get there. I guess I listened to something the other day about preparing for the job search from someone giving a speech, and he goes, at some point in your career, you're going to be asked to build a rocket ship, and you're not gonna know how. So I'm trying to run a 4-minute mile, and I don't know how. So you got to go and find the answers, whether that's through me reading, other training, kind of learning more, and then obviously sourcing maybe some help from you guys, and possibly getting a coach. I don't know, to be determined yet how we're going to fill in the rest of this. But as of right now, I'm getting back into it. We're coming into here. The previous episodes we've talked about, this week and the previous week, I think. So here we are for week 2. I don't know if it will let me highlight it. No, because it's merged. So this week, Monday, did an easy run, 7 miles. Tuesday, I rolled into some longer speed work, 10 by 100 on the trees. Posted that one on Instagram. I don't know if you guys liked it or not, but I don't know. Wednesday, longer run, went about 75 minutes. I think I don't know what I got, about 10.6 miles maybe. Thursday, first double, trying to get back to that 12-mile easy day. Very consistent in the full last year. I think it works well. But it was hot, man. That second run, it took it out of me. I think I felt it on Friday morning because I was a little slow. The first rep was a little bit hard to grind through. The Friday workout was pretty good overall though. About 5:20 pace on the ons, I think would have been the average by the end of it. I didn't really feel dead. The sun made it harder. I know that after the last rep, I was like, I just wanted to run to shade, but there was none. So I kind of just jogged very, very slowly, and it probably looked like I was in a lot of pain. But while I was actually running, I felt like my legs were underneath me. And I think that that's what this period is supposed to be doing, right? Saturday, got out for about 5 miles, didn't take the watch, I just jogged. I slept in, so it was pretty hot. So we were just out there chilling out, trying to have a good time. And then today, Sunday, August 2nd, 16-mile long run. It was the worst thing I've ever, it was the second worst thing I've ever done. The worst one I ever did was in Augusta, Georgia with Jacob Olson, and it was like about 100 and humid, and that was the worst run. But today was up there. It was tough. I got up at 4:55 and it was already 92 degrees. So I'm happy that next week right here, we've got the last long run in Arizona. Actually, yeah, the last long run. And then I will be out of here, not doing any more long runs. Overall, pretty good week, 67 miles. I mean, it did feel easy, but it didn't feel super easy. But I think that that's just the conditions I'm in. The heart rate's pretty high on all of the runs. It's really hard to keep it down, which is discouraging to look down when you see your pace is, falling off into like the high sevens. But I don't think it's an indication of the shape I'm in. I feel like I'm getting back. I feel like aerobically it's getting better. So, if we roll into this week, August 3rd to August 9th, back to just trying to feel it out. I've got Monday and Thursday there with two easy runs. I don't know. I mean, I think I know that I'm going to do 2 easy runs, but I think it's going to be 60 minutes in the morning, so that should give me about 8, and then I'll just keep like a real light 4 in the afternoon until I can get back to the point where it's actually worth going out and running 5 or 6 miles in the afternoon, and not just destroying your body for the next day, because that's what it does. I think it depletes it a little bit more than if the weather was fine. So tomorrow, Monday, we'll do 2 easy runs as I just explained. Tuesday we'll roll back into longer speed. I don't know if I'll increase the reps. I might go up to 12 and then just cut it there, but 10 was pretty good. Longer run on Wednesday. So my theory was coming into this that I would like go 15-ish minutes shorter than the long run, but I about ran like 1:57 today. So there's no way I'm going out running 1 hour 40 on Wednesday. I think I'll put the lower limit at 80, upper limit at 90. We'll get somewhere in between there. I think it's great to be doing 2 long runs right now. I think I'll continue it into the next period. It's a solid, two solid runs a week of just getting that heart rate up into the aerobic zone and just working it uninterrupted for a long time. Thursday we discussed. Friday, doing the same type of fartlek as I did this, on Friday, except I'm going to do 6 sets to give me 18 minutes of work. I like that workout. I think it's great while I'm getting back into it. It's not super hard. You can do it. It's about, 60 minutes and you're done. And that's what we're looking for right now, trying to get all this stuff sorted to move away, blah, blah, blah. It's hot. Let's just, get some running in so that I can train properly here in a couple of weeks. Saturday, roll into the easy run, and then Sunday, another long run. We'll go for 16 again. Hopefully now I've done it once, I had done it for a month. Hopefully it's going to feel better. I really do. But you know what, if it doesn't, we'll grind it out like we did today and we shouldn't have a problem. I'm shooting for probably like 75. I think with the way I've looked at it, probably going to be like 70, 75 miles. And I think the next 2 weeks, if we can do that, will set us up quite nicely for the middle of August and, to start getting in some good training. So that's where we're at. Just a side note for anyone that's interested, when I've been discussing it, I train actually, I'm going to have to stop sharing this. Let me just pull it up here. Yeah, we're good. I do a lot of my training on the heart rate. Here, that's this block here. So when I'm talking, in terms of the easy runs, we're shooting for this bread and butter, 140 to 1, and I never really ever get up to 155. I like to keep the easy runs in the 140 range, but I know it's giving me some aerobic benefit. The long runs, I keep kind of more up in the zone, 65 to 70% of the heart rate reserve. And that's kind of all the miles I'm doing right now, just in this, area that if you can just constantly keep, the minutes of running in these zones up, scientifically proven that you will gain aerobic benefits. So, we'll get into this a bit more as we start, venturing into the training. I guess I'm running one workout, which is, we're just in the sub threshold. I don't really get it up. I don't get it up much over 170, which maybe it's like 175 because of the heat, but I can guarantee if it was cool, I wouldn't be over 170. I'm not really working super, super hard in those. But yeah, we'll get into this a bit more. If you have any questions about it, let me know. I'm a big heart rate guy. I struggle to run fast on my easy days. I love to go slow. And then if you go too slow, it's like, well, what's the point in going out? So I use that to keep me accountable to be, if I can just hit 140, 145 beats, then I'm doing something. It's worth being out there. But obviously, if I would still trust myself. If I felt like shit, just to go slow and be at a point where I felt comfortable jogging. But more often than not, I rely on it to be like, hey, Jordan, let's get some work going. So nice to chat with you guys this week. Again, any comments, any way I can improve the vlog or the training, let me know. Love hearing from you all. And I'll check in with you next week. See you later.